When you are exhausted, your body will not let go of fat. If you're over 40 and you feel as though your body's working against you, especially when it comes to weight loss, then please listen. Energy is a biological issue, a body function issue. It's not about having more motivation or having more discipline. If your body's unable to make energy because your energy systems are depleted, your metabolism will naturally slow down and fat loss will become difficult. I'm Jodie Studley, naturopath, metabolic balance practitioner and emotional dynamics coach, and I work with women and men over 40 who are already doing everything right, yet their body's now no longer working the way it used to. Stay with me now because we're about to dive deeper into one of the biological reasons your weight has become stubborn and your energy feels zapped, and why pushing harder is actually making it worse. Let me speak directly. If you're trying to lose weight when you're feeling tired, when you're sleeping poorly, relying on caffeine and sugar and pushing through with the stress, your body is not falling apart. It is actually working to protect you. It sounds back to front, right? However, your body's designed to keep you alive first. And when it senses that energy is low or that stress is high, it's not going to prioritize fat loss. It's going to prioritize survival. There are three main biological reasons that weight loss stalls in midlife, and none of them are about laziness or lack of willpower. Point 1, chronic stress and undereating will suppress your metabolism. When we default back to old dieting tactics that tell you to reduce your calories for long periods of time, especially when also dealing with daily stress, then your body's going to naturally adapt to this in very specific ways, and it may not be what you hope for. You see, your thyroid hormones adapt, and this can slow your metabolic rate so that you literally burn fewer calories at rest. Your leptin hormone, these levels drop, which increase your hunger and reduce the energy that you'd naturally otherwise use through exercise. And at the same time, cortisol, your stress hormone, this rises because your body interprets eating too little as a threat. And when cortisol remains high, then your body becomes more likely to store fat, particularly around the belly. And this is because your body's trying to conserve energy during what it perceives to be a stressful period. It's natural biology. Now, add our perimenopause hormonal changes into this equation for us women. Fluctuating estrogen levels can reduce your insulin sensitivity too. Poor sleep, which is common in perimenopause, also raises our cortisol levels. And this combination of elevated cortisol and unstable insulin makes fat storage way too easy and fat loss pretty hard. So when you respond by eating even less or exercising even harder, you literally amplify your stress signaling. You can't starve your way into a relaxed, responsive metabolism. Your body must feel safe before it can release that stored energy that you experience as fat. Point number 2, loss of muscle mass will reduce your metabolic capacity. After the age of 40, muscle mass naturally begins to decline unless you actively preserve it. You may not notice this as some dramatic muscle loss unless you're on weight loss drugs such as Ozempic, then you probably will notice significant muscle mass loss. But it is still significant over time, and it's certainly metabolically significant to your body because muscle tissue is metabolically active. It's filled with all the little mitochondria that make the energy. Metabolically active muscles determine how efficiently your body can actually use glucose from your food and how much energy you can burn when you're at rest. So for example, when protein intake is too low, then naturally your muscle protein synthesis, this is going to decline as well. Also, when you restrict calories for too long, then your body it's going to break down muscle tissue to get hold of some energies. It needs to get it from somewhere, right? And this is one reason why doing resistant training is so very important as we age, particularly through menopausal transition. Because as your muscle mass decreases, then so too does your insulin sensitivity. As estrogen decreases, so too does your insulin sensitivity. What this means for you is that when insulin sensitivity declines, then your body then requires more insulin to manage the glucose that's already circulating in your blood. And what this means is that higher circulating insulin makes fat storage more likely and fat burning less likely. And this is why many women tell me that they're now eating less than ever before, and yet this weight still does not budge. Their metabolic capacity has actually slowed right down and is now out of balance. Energy first fat loss means ensuring that you're eating enough protein across the day, preserving muscle mass through appropriate training, and consuming enough total energy to actually prevent this metabolic chaos. On the flip side, when muscle mass does improve, when metabolic flexibility does improve, then fat loss actually becomes easier for you. You can't shrink your way into body strength. You must build metabolic muscle capacity. Point 3, blood sugar instability drives fat storage. Let me describe a pattern that I see constantly. You skip breakfast because you're not hungry, or because you believe that skipping breakfast is going to help you lose weight. You drink coffee instead. Then by mid-morning, your fat-blocking hormone cortisol, it's risen, it's elevated. At lunch, you eat quickly and often choose something higher in carbohydrates because your body is seeking fast energy. By mid-afternoon, your blood sugar drops, you feel foggy in the head, you feel irritable, you feel desperate for something sweet to give you an energy boost. Now, this pattern creates repeated insulin spikes and crashes, because when your glucose rises rapidly, insulin rises rapidly too. And when insulin remains elevated throughout the day, fat oxidation is reduced. When blood sugar crashes, cortisol rises to bring glucose back down. Cortisol further impairs your insulin sensitivity and encourages that stubborn abdominal fat storage. See how chaotic it's getting? You don't even need to follow this to understand it. It just becomes chaos. Over time, this cycle becomes entrenched. Most weight loss plateaus or stubborn weight are not a calorie problem. They are regulation problems. Now, when meals become sufficient with protein, fiber, and healthy fats, and when they are spaced consistently through the day, then insulin does stabilize. And when your insulin stabilizes, then your body can access that stored fat more effectively. When you get your blood sugar to remain steady, your cravings reduce as well. And when your cravings reduce, then it's way easier to become more consistent with what you do each day. Let me bring this together clearly. Healthy aging is normal. A metabolism that becomes stuck is not normal. However, it is so very, very common, and strict dieting will not move this. If your body feels underfed, under-recovered, overstressed, it will not burn fat easily. None of this means your body's broken. It means that your body needs support. Why? Because your body's your best friend. It communicates with you constantly. Fatigue is a message. Weight gain is a message. Poor sleep is a message. Brain fog is a message. Cravings are a message. The science can sometimes seem complex, but the actions you take now become simple once we personalize them for you. Instead of asking yourself, why can't I lose weight? Ask a better question. Does my body feel safe? Does it feel nourished? And is it supported enough so I can release the fat? That shift in perspective alone changes the entire strategy. So I have a very clear invitation for you. If you're trying to force fat loss while fasting and feeling exhausted, and you recognize yourself in what I've described today, then stop guessing and let's get personal. Book a 20-minute call with me today where we can discover what is blocking you and then make the steps necessary so that you can take back control of your health. Because healthy aging, it's a blessing that we all have access to when we make the decision to act. And if this resonates with you, then follow me, because this month we're going to be rebuilding our energy from the inside out. Cherish yourself because you deserve it.